Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast, where we look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of a songwriter. Each week, we make a connection with a music maker, listen to their songs, and hear their stories. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenihan.
As my brother Billy says, yo! Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining our stream and listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Well, they call our town Songtown, Music City, Guitar Town, Crazy Town, Nash Vegas, which is really appropriate because if you come here to make it in the music business, it's always going to be a gamble. But also, Dream Town. I mean, think about that for a second. So many people come into this town on a daily and yearly basis to pursue that dream, that aspiration of being a star or a songwriter, making it in the music business. And of course, it never gets any easier, right? Our guest today is living that dream, and I am just so happy to have her. Before we go on, before I introduce you to her, I want to thank you for listening and remind you that if you're listening on YouTube, and I know we're not a video podcast as of yet, I'm still looking at that, but I'm an old radio guy, and we've been through this before. But anyway, I put it on YouTube because I think it's important to be there. It's the second largest search engine next to Google, so we're there, and we're building up the streams there, and I hope that if you are listening there, you'll like and subscribe. And you know what? As a favor to me, even if you don't listen there, go over there and like and subscribe, because my goal this year is to be able to monetize on YouTube as well. And that's really going to help us grow this podcast. So thank you for that in advance. So, well, our guest today got her first guitar when she was 12 years old. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I get any of this wrong, you jump right on in.
Okay.
At the age of 14, made a trip to Nashville with your family.
Yes.
Caught an Opry performance, and you got the bug. This is what I want to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Grew up on traditional country music in the Youngstown, Ohio area, which we're going to talk about. By the age of 19, she was taking the plunge. She was moving here, went to school at the Blackbird Academy, which we'll tell you more. It's a great school. My nephew went there too. And starts playing everywhere around town. It seems like wherever I went, anytime I opened up a social, there was a picture of this young lady playing or singing. And then one day at Commodore Grill, which is a very popular spot for songwriters, great songwriter venue here in Nashville, Nashville's West End and the Holiday Inn, the Commodore Grill, place to visit when you're in town. I caught her one night, and she was playing and singing and playing harmonica along with it. And I love artists that will do that, right?
Yeah,
and
mix it up a little bit.
Yes, and she blew me away, and I approached her afterwards and introduced myself, and I've been following her ever since. Her name is Taylor Borton. Hi, Taylor, how are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
Thanks for making the trip up.
Yeah.
Because you're down south of town.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so.
But it wasn't bad.
Not too bad.
Traffic.
Yeah, and we're taping this on a Sunday. Taping it, I still say taping. I guess we're recording on a Sunday. So, yeah, we got that Sunday, easy like Sunday morning feeling. Yeah.
Love it.
I am looking at this new CD that's just coming out, Lyrics in My Head. Tell us a little about your new CD.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So I put them all together and called it an EP, even though I've released them as singles because just a personal preference.
Well, that's the thing today. People are doing it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best. I like to just ask around, ask what other people think is best to do for opinion, and they're like, just put them out as singles. I was like, cool. So I did that over the end of last year and into this year, and then just put them all together, and the last song just came out. So
I love what I'm hearing.
CD is final.
Yeah. I remember we've talked a lot about Radio Sobro on this show, which it's a great, if you please stream that and listen, because people get the idea, get asked all the time, it's country music town. It's a music town. And we talk about Music City, all kinds of genres. And if you listen to Radio Sobro, it's all Nashville artists. And you get a real taste of what's going on in this town. The music is absolutely incredible. So I'm driving down the road one day, and I'm listening, this song comes on, and it's really catchy, and I go, that voice is familiar. That voice is Taylor Borton. As it turned out, it was the Glove Box Lighter. And I love that song. And that's the first one I heard on Radio Sobro. And you've had one since then, or two since then.
Yeah, so I did Glove Box Lighter and then My Opry.
And
then Lovin' When It's Leavin' was the third. And then I just called the EP Lyrics in My Head for the final song.
Yeah, and that's the final song. So how about, can we play that? Let's play that, all right?
Yeah.
All right, I got it queued up and ready to go somewhere. Here it is right here. So this is Taylor Borton. Is this you on the harmonica too?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, here you go.
The lyrics in my head are telling the same story again. They talk to me when I'm feeling a bit down and out of my own skin. And they say, girl, remember why you ended up back here in the first place. I argued back, 'cause even though I'm fighting myself, I still wanna get my way. Hey, hey, it's sad to say, but isn't that the truth? When you think you're walking the line, it's walking all over you. You just need that little reminder. You got a heart and you gotta go find her sometimes. Don't beat yourself up, it's not a fight you're gonna win. In the end, just listen to the lyrics in your head. I haven't been on earth too long, but I've been here long enough to feel some hurt. I've got good friends to talk to, but what can you say when you're not in the same boat? Then I'm right back to where I started, sitting here broken hearted, thinking it through. I've been told I'm too in my head, but that's all that I have left. Hey, hey, it's sad to say, but isn't that the truth? When you think you're walking the line, it's walking all over you. You just need that little reminder. You got a heart and you gotta go find her sometimes. Don't beat yourself up, it's not a fight you're gonna win. In the end, just listen to the lyrics in your head. It's sad to say, ain't that the truth? You think you're walking the line, it's walking all over you. You just need that little reminder. You got a heart and you gotta go find her sometimes. Don't beat yourself up, it's not a fight you're gonna win. In the end, just listen to the lyrics in your head.
I've always loved artists that will throw the harmonica in, that thing around your neck and you're blowing the harmonica as you're playing. My brother and I, when we were little and we tried that, we didn't have the harmonica holders. So he came up with a way, take an old coat hanger.
I've seen that. Whatever works.
Yeah, we used to do Piano Man, songs like that, Neil Young songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with that kind of music? Dylan? And
Not really.
No?
It's more just traditional country.
Yeah. So what made you start to pick up the harmonica too? And
I honestly just got bored with myself.
Yeah?
I was like, if I'm not completely into what I'm doing, they're not going to be either. So I was like, I need to add something.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit of...
Yeah.
change that
and
I
it
think
works
I
very
needed.
well for you. That's the first time I saw you at the Comic Con. You're doing that.
Yeah.
Works very well. Well, the new CD is called Lyrics in My Head. It's an EP, 4 songs, and they're all out there right now streaming. The joke now has been, and have you noticed this in Writers' Rounds? The joke is it's available everywhere except in stores. So anywhere you find music,
right?
Yeah. So, but it's out there streaming and doing
Yeah.
really well for you. Yeah. So
I'm excited.
Very cool. Now, you're doing a CD release party. Now, by the time this show airs, though, it's going to be past. But I think it's very cool how you're doing this. Tell me about that. You're going to the studio, right?
Right. So the same studio where I recorded these songs is just where it's going to be, which is really cool to me.
That is neat.
Kevin at the studio was nice enough to just
and that
let me block off a day.
That is so awesome. The studio is called Hidden Creek, right?
Yeah, Hidden Creek Music.
And that's in what part of town?
It's in Bellevue.
Bellevue, okay.
Yes.
Which is near west side of Nashville. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's over there, and he just has like an extra room that he wants to do something like this in, and he was like,
so
let's give it a go. So he's letting me give it a go.
Can he record you as you're doing this? Will you be recording
he
it?
could.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Taylor Borton Live.
Don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
You got to be excited about that.
I know it'll be my first full band show.
Full band. Who's in the band?
So we got Andrew Thomas on steel, Taylor Took, and Micah Nortrup on
Taylor
drums.
Took and Michael. Nortrup.
So it's going to be good.
Yeah. Know all those guys. Great.
Yeah.
Great musicians. I can't wait. I'll be there for sure. Yeah.
I'm so glad you're coming.
I'm really looking forward to it. So, Hidden Creek, how did you find those guys? How did you end up there? Did they just have the sound you wanted?
Just through friends of friends,
Friends of friends?
this town, word of mouth, and who everyone uses. And I feel like I'm good friends with David Young and
he's another great one.
Yeah, and
we got to get him on
Ashton
this
Butler, and so they were like, well, I record with Kevin at Hidden Creek, and that's how I kind of got into it. And I've been with him for like a few years recording my songs, so
fantastic.
Gained the relationship of that and friendship. And
now this wasn't your first. This was not your first project, was it? What was your first?
This is my first EP/CD, but
you were doing singles before that, though, right?
Yes, my first one was "Give a Damn."
Give a damn.
Over COVID times because I had the time to do it.
Yeah, and that's
my
how
first
this podcast
music
started.
video. Yeah,
yeah. You did a video on that too. Wow.
Yeah, because
I remember seeing a lot of your videos. You've done London.
I think I have 3 music videos.
3 music videos.
Give a Damn, London, and Glove Box Lighter.
All out there. Find you on YouTube.
I love shooting them. They're just so much fun. Yeah, they are all on YouTube.
That's wonderful. That is a blast. Absolutely. So you moved to Nashville when you were 19 to go to school here, or just
You know, in my mind, I told myself I need a better reason to move than just to come and find a random job and sing songs. So I was like, maybe you should go to school for something. Like, I was just coming out of high school, so I really didn't completely know what I was doing. I guess I still don't. But the only thing I would have chose to do is audio and engineering and stuff like that, just to give it a go. And all of the schools by me in Ohio were all just like 4 years or all that stuff. And I was like, I hate school. I'm not doing that. So I found Blackbird, which was 6 months.
Blackbird Academy.
And I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah. You know, and I'll tell you a little bit about that, folks. Blackbird Studios here in Nashville is a very famous studio. A lot of great people have recorded there. And it's owned and run by John McBride and his lovely bride, Martina McBride. So you know that name. And this school is amazing because they do live sound, and that's the program my nephew took. You took studio? Was it studio sound?
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay. So a little bit different, but, you know, a great, because, I mean, to work, you get to actually, what I love, it's hands-on.
It is, yeah.
You get to actually work.
Like, what school can you do that?
Yeah.
It takes maybe like till the last year, you know, to actually.
Well, in a modern day studio with today's equipment, and you know how fast those change. So that must have been something. Yeah. It
was a lot. And, you know, a lot of the people I was in school with were a little older and had experience, and I didn't even know what Pro Tools was. So it was hard to grasp because it was very fast moving and fast paced, and everyone was kind of running around me, I felt like.
Yeah.
But I got enough to know the basics and just to track myself, or if I want to do demos, or I'm able to do that now.
That's great.
So that's something.
So that's really helped your songwriting in the long run.
Yeah, you know, it has.
Yeah. Do you have your own workstation at home?
Yeah, I just have Pro Tools. I have nothing like super fancy, but a lot of it I still just choose to do through Kevin because I just like the studio environment and just having someone else around and their opinion I prefer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you like to write by yourself. You know, we're listening to that song, lyrics in my head, and the line that just sealed the deal for me was, you think you're walking the line, and it's walking all over you. And to me, that whole song, I mean, that's a great lyric. That whole song is kind of a affirmation of life, you know?
Yeah. And I moved here at 19, so I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. So that's exactly what I felt.
Yeah. So from personal experience, very personal song.
I try to be as real as I can and relatable. And I wrote all these myself.
Well, and they always say be real. And,
be real.
Yeah. Be your own genre. And you kind of are. Yeah. You have some very interesting influence. So your mom and dad loved listening to traditional country music when you were growing up. And you were in the Youngstown area? Whereabouts? My first radio job.
Right on the Youngstown Hubbard line.
Hubbard, okay.
Yeah.
I used to work in Warren and spent a lot of time.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, so right
that's
around there.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah, and that's
we're so close.
Yeah, so they listen to country in your household growing up. Yeah.
I mean,
I know there's that powerful station out of Salem. I can't remember I can't remember the call letters. I bet you guys listen to that a lot.
Can't either. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just turn it on, and that's usually what was playing. So we just went with it, you know.
So who were your favorites to sing along with there?
Man, I mean, of course, as a young female, I had my Taylor Swift phase.
Of course.
But besides all that, like the up and coming new music that was happening at that time, I loved like Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, John Prine.
Oh, wow.
I love all that stuff.
And great songwriters all.
Yeah, the roots, the stories.
How old? I know you got a guitar when you were like 12.
Yeah.
Right? How long was it before you started writing your first song?
Well, I found I always wrote like poems in school.
Did you?
I guess that went hand in hand. I don't know. I guess I just liked writing anything. So I'd have those, and once I started playing guitar, I was like, well, you can play now. You can put these poems / words to it and write a song. Yeah. So not long after, I think it took me a bit to grasp actually strumming and singing at the same time.
It's
that was
hard
really
if you've
hard
never
to
done
learn.
It. Oh, I know. Yeah.
So once I got through that, I just started on obviously like cover songs and figuring that out, and then probably a year or two into it, I started putting it together.
Putting it all together.
Yeah.
And you like writing by yourself, right?
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't plan when I'm going to be inspired, I guess is the easiest way to say it. I'm sure a lot of people can't, but if my head's not like really in the game, then I'm just, it's not the easiest thing. Because most of mine comes randomly at like 12 a.m. or nights or in the car, or, all the random spots. Oh, that would be cool. Let's sit down and think about it. So
the inspiration's got to hit you.
It does.
Yeah.
So
you have a favorite place or time that it hit you? Is there anything that you could guarantee that's going to get you in the mood to write?
I just like dimming the lights and creating like a vibe in a space where it just helps the inspiration. So I guess that's the biggest thing. Light
a candle or two?
Yeah.
Pull out the guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you start with, and these are basic questions and things that we covered, but I just like to know how you get inside each individual writer's head. Most of the time for you to just start with an idea or a melody?
I think of like an idea or typically like the hook or title because it helps me to know like what I'm writing towards. Yeah. Because if I just start the song at the verse, I'm like, well, I don't know what to write. I don't know where to go with it. I don't know what to say. Because when I write, I like to write like it's a movie and picture it because it just helps me. I have to see the vision and the picture of it. So I kind of think of the hook, title, and then go from there. I'm like, okay, this is what it's going to be about. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to end? And then I imagine I'm watching it as I'm writing it.
Wow. That's really good because imagery is so important in songs today.
Right.
To paint that picture.
It's like some people are like, well, I prefer to write from the chorus. And I'm like,
some do.
That's fine. You do what works for you, but my brain just can't.
Yeah. Yeah. sometimes you get into that and you're
or you know, sometimes you just have a chorus and that's all you come up with. So
exactly, I'm in that position right now.
Yeah,
songwriting right now. We got a great chorus.
Yeah,
and we got a first verse, but we were like lost.
Chorus is good, you know.
Yeah, why not? You know. Well, that's interesting. Very cool.
Yeah.
The song I first heard on the radio by you was that Glove Box Slider. And I'm wondering if I can have you play it. And I'd really love to hear the story behind that song. Because that's such an... they always say when you go into publishers' meetings... I remember the first publisher I met with, she said, I'm looking down your list of songs, and what I look for are songs that I need to know what that song's all about. I want to hear that, you know? And that is one of those songs. You go, what? That's...
yeah, true story.
Okay.
So I was just like back and forth with this guy... you know, and
there was a guy.
There's always a guy. And we just enjoyed being with each other, but we weren't in the place or spot to actually be with each other and call it something, I guess you would say.
I gotcha.
So we just spent our time together, and it just sparked that idea of like Glove Box Lighter. And Cameron Marlowe, his song, Girl on Fire, uses that line, Glove Box Lighter, so I give him all the credit of thinking of this title.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll just listen to songs and be like, oh, that was a cool line, and use it as its own story. Mm-hmm. So he said that, and I was like, Glove Box Lighter, that's like something that's there when you need it.
Yeah.
But...
not always.
But that's it. But not always. And that's kind of how the relationship was, of just we're there when we need each other, talk to each other when we need it, and...
it hit me hard when I heard it.
It fell into a song.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. And I think it's really neat because...
and it's different. Like, it's such a random title.
It is.
Glove Box Lighter.
Yeah.
Some people at first were just looking at me like, what do you mean? But then when they thought about it, they're like, I guess that does make sense. You know, it's one of those you just hear and get it, or you have to listen to it a few times. A
metaphor for what the relationship is like. And I think you said something, too, that I think is real important, too. Sometimes I'm inspired by listening to other people's music.
Yeah.
You know, and listen and you know, not just, and I don't say that to steal ideas, but when you go in and you hear really good songwriters, it inspires you to be better at what you do, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think you rise to that level. And that's what I love here about Nashville. You go to writers around here in Nashville, you go to the Bluebird, or you go to listen to the listening room, someplace where you're listening to great songwriters in this town. And believe me, there are more.
And it's competitive, but it's not competition.
That's what I love about Nashville.
Yeah.
But it is so inspiring to see where the bar is and go, oh, wow, that's, you know, that's what I got to
They set that a little high.
So high on that bar, I can't reach my drink. But, so that's cool. Can we hear that song?
Yeah.
What is it too much to ask for a request?
No, this is your favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I remembered, so I have to play it.
Absolutely. Taylor Borton is my guest. The Songwriter Connection podcast.
To know, and your hands
Borton is our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. We're taking a little break. Be right on back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Songwriter Connection, connecting with music makers and hearing their songs and stories. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
And Taylor Borton, our guest, who came to Nashville from the Youngstown, Ohio area.
Yeah.
O-H-I-O. Yeah. And I'm an Ohio guy, too, so that was cool to have that in common. So,
yeah.
Glovebox Lighter, what a cool song.
Thanks.
To me, when I first saw it, I was like, that's like a...
When I wrote it, it was one of those songs, I'm like, does it even make sense?
No, but it does.
And it does,
It does. To me, everybody has probably their own interpretation, but to me, I was like, that's like a female version of Night Moves. To me.
True.
Exactly. Kinda.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It pretty much is. Yeah.
And then you end it with,
example.
I'm coming over.
Yeah.
Sexy as heck.
That's my sexy song.
Yeah,
when I play it out, I'm like, okay, sexy song.
Yeah, Joe Bazzelli has one of those. Our good friend Joe is going to be on the podcast, and he's coming over this afternoon to hang with us. He's got this one where, she got a thing for me.
Got a thing. And then I had my parents watch the music video, and I'm like, okay, well, when you do, don't judge me.
Don't judge.
So.
Don't hate.
Yeah.
What did they think when they saw it?
They didn't judge it, of course.
No.
They just looked at it as good job.
They really support you, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I look forward to meeting them when they're in town.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited to have them at the show.
Yeah, that's awesome that they're coming in.
Yeah.
What does your dad do?
They're both retired.
No music?
No.
None of them?
No.
Neither of them?
So my dad was just good old car guy.
Yeah, car guy.
And my mom was just a receptionist, so trucking company stuff. So
Yeah.
no music at all.
No.
My brother either, no.
No kidding. So where'd it come from?
I don't know. It was just a good escape, I think, because honestly, just through high school and everything, I hated school.
Did you?
And I played volleyball, but I wasn't really into anything outside of school other than that. And I just didn't relate with anyone. Like, I had a bunch of friends, but I never had best friends, and I was never super close with anyone. So I would just sit in my room for hours and just play and listen to music. Like, I've had times where my mom would text or call me and be like, where are you at? I'm in my room. They wouldn't even know.
Wow.
So,
and you were there just digging into the music. And
yeah.
Wow.
For hours.
That's something.
The homework, I was one of those people, the homework got done in first period. So.
Must have been pretty smart, although you hated school.
But.
Yeah. I find that so hard to believe because you've got such a great personality. And you're so adorable. I just find that so hard to believe,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like I've talked to everybody and
kind of a loner.
Always had friends, but I've always been a loner and very independent.
Very hard to be a loner in this town, isn't it?
That's why it's like I write and do everything like that myself.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just used to it.
I got you. I understand.
But yeah, this town, I have so many good friends.
Yes, you do. Everybody knows you.
Well.
No, they do. And they're finding out more and more as we go.
Yeah.
So, well, that's really cool. How about another one? Can we see another one? Yeah.
Do another
Something from this new CD, which is called Lyrics in My Head.
Yeah. Thinking My Opry. This one's a fun one.
I'm dying to hear this song. Yeah, My Opry. And again, you came to the Opry when you were 14 with your family, and it had a big impact.
And I'm not a big concert person, believe it or not, because I just don't like crowds and things like that, unless obviously I'm on the stage.
Yeah,
is different to me. So that was one of a couple concerts I've been to. And it was for Vince Gill.
I was going to say, who'd you see? You saw Vince Gill?
Yeah, Craig Morgan, Vince Gill.
Craig Morgan, he's always, awesome. Well, cool. Did this song come from that experience?
No, I just wanted something, like I said, that people can relate to. And I feel like this is musically relatable and just real life in general relatable. Because it's like we might all have dreams and goals that we're looking to reach. But all the little steps in between is what really matters. And we're already doing it. So
it's the journey.
Our goals already happened pretty much in my mind.
Gotcha. I can't wait to hear it. My Opry, Taylor Borton is our guest on the Songwriter Connection.
Girl, you're so in over your head. So many songs you never heard. So many places you never been. Keep your circle small and don't run yourself thin. Keep on writing words down even when they're barely coming out. These old bars will make you drown. Sometimes empty seats fill your crowd. If you sing it loud enough to keep on going, if you're making just enough to wake up and do it again, then you just gotta keep your head on your shoulders. Ain't nothing after all this time gonna stop me. I'm already playing my Opry. Yeah. Then you find out who your friends are. Most of us want the same thing in this bar. Some of us fake it, some of us get far. We're all just here to keep on spinning. For some reason we keep on pinning. If you sing it loud enough to keep on going, if you're making just enough to wake up and do it again, then you just gotta keep your head on your shoulders. Ain't nothing after all this time gonna stop me. I'm already playing my Opry. Yeah. If you're singing loud enough to keep on going, if you're making just enough to wake up and do it again, you just gotta keep your head on your shoulders. Ain't nothing after all this time gonna stop me. I'm already playing my Opry.
The all-important line before the hook sets it up perfectly. Nothing's going to stop me.
Yeah, heck no.
I'm already
I'm already doing it.
I'm doing what I
Yeah.
want to do. Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's why you're such a happy
I think that's
person.
one of my favorite ones to play. You know, it's just a good message.
It really is. Yeah. I used to tell my students at a broadcast school a while back, and got to mentor some awesome talent. And I used to tell them to live the dream and to have the passion to do that. And it seems to me that you're right.
Like,
in
just
that.
do it, you know?
You're
With nothing to lose at this point.
yeah, you are living the dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it said about you, and the quote I saw was, "She's an old soul with a young and charismatic spirit, and her songs and maturity demonstrate that it's well beyond her years." And I think it's a good description of you. What do you think about that?
I mean,
You're an old soul.
I feel like that's what I was surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my parents aren't going to like this comment, but I'm going to say it anyways, because they were always the older parents.
Yeah.
You know, my mom had me at 40, and my dad was in his 50s.
So only child?
I have an older brother.
Older brother.
Like, he's just older than me by like 4 years, so not a big gap.
Okay.
So I was always, and I think that's part of why I didn't relate with people, because they always wanted to hang out or do stuff. I was that friend, and it's like my friend texted me and was like, "Come over, let's have a sleepover," and I was like, "Mom, say no, say no,
Mom,
I
say
don't
no.
want to go." So I don't know. I just always hung out with them, and
I got you.
yeah, I think that's really where it came from. and what they listen to. And
You prefer the older crowd? I could see that.
I mean, even back home, before I ever moved here, when I played like 2 or 3 hour sets, it was always an older crowd. And
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of what I started with. For me right now, it's hard for me to grasp teenagers and that age for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you start playing out right out of high school around the area?
I probably started playing out at like 15 or 16. So
Really?
I was in school, yeah.
Wow.
So little 16-year-old me was at the bar.
At the bar.
You know? So I would drag my parents everywhere. Come on, you have to come. I have a show you have to sit through for 3 hours. So.
Doing lots of covers and stuff?
Yeah.
Throwing in one you wrote every now and then?
Yep. I mean, at that point, I probably didn't have many of my own. But when I could, I throw them in there, mix it up a little bit.
That's how you perfect the chops right there. You get out there and do it.
Yeah.
That's why you're so good in front of a crowd. You've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I do need to work on, but I feel like that's one of my strengths.
That's good. We're always working on ourselves, right? So you make the trip back home, and when you do, I've noticed you get a lot of gigs.
If I'm going home,
you're playing.
I'm playing somewhere.
Yeah.
But usually when I go home, it is a holiday, so it's hard because places are closed.
Yeah.
But I try to make the occasional midsummer trip and go back and book a few things and promote it as much as I can. Because, you know, people there, they don't have the live scene like here.
Yeah.
And they want to go out and see that stuff. And it's fun to promote it as me coming from Nashville. And it gets more of an attention. So now, I mean, what's better than gaining your fan base at home first and having them help you out? And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You build from the inside out.
And it's fun to see who's still supporting you.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of, you know, like the friends that I would hang out with before I left and in high school and stuff. And I was always hanging out with my brother and his friends and stuff like that. So I kind of stole his friends because, like I said, I never really had that many I was close with. And, you know, they don't really talk to me now. And they don't ask how I am or come to my shows. And it's like, I mean, they were older and they do have things going on, but it's like you can still come out if you really wanted to. Yes. So it's nice to see who's still there.
Support your local musicians.
Yeah.
They work.
Yeah.
Hard.
What else are you doing?
Exactly right. Doug Turner used to be down here, and he had this tip sheet show you where everybody was playing in town, and his saying was, "Friends don't let friends play to empty rooms," and that still sticks in my head. You know.
Yeah.
I like to get out there and support, especially my friends. We played at the Commodore Grill last night, and there were so many great friends that just showed up.
Don't you love that?
And I do love that. You know,
it's like sometimes it is just your friends you're playing for, but what's better?
What's worse is what Mark Allen Barnett's song says, playing for tables and chairs, right? Yeah, Mark's going to be on our next episode, by the way, with Jay Verne, and that's happening. We're actually recording that tomorrow as we talk, so it'll be on the week after this one with Taylor. So yeah,
woo,
very cool.
Knock them all out.
Yeah,
awesome writers.
Now you've played a lot of festivals and things, not just writers' rounds. You get yourself out there, don't you?
I like playing outside. I don't know why. Like, minus the allergies, but I kind of just fight through them. Yeah. But I think it's so fun. It gives a different feel than just sitting in, like, I love bars, but mine is just sitting in a dark bar where it's loud and there's TVs blasted and like they kind of have less to pay attention to, I feel like, at things like that. So, I don't know, maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah. So what are some of the festivals you've been...
I've done like Main Street Fest here in Franklin. That was fun. That's a big festival.
Yeah, it is.
So the main stage.
Wow.
Like little old me on this big old stage.
That's cool.
Loretta Lynn's Ranch. That was kind of like a writer's thing that Chris Garner puts on.
Well, so that's fun. And growing up being a Loretta fan, that must have been very special for you.
Yeah, you know, that was cool. And then all the like county fairs before I ever even moved, those were my like main.
That's what you like to do.
Yeah.
You're
so because the crowds are already there. There's the built-in crowds is what's cool, and then you get those fans.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about them.
And get them going.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Very good. How about another song from you?
Oh yeah.
You got a whole CD's worth of songs here.
Yeah, so. I got one more to go through here.
Yeah. Which one are you going to do this time?
Lovin' When It's Leavin'.
Lovin' When It's Leavin'. Now, this is going to be a single, or was it? This is going to be one eventually?
No, so they all already are.
all
And then Lyrics
out
in
there.
My Head was the last one. That one just came out
That's
Friday.
the current one. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one was After My Opry then?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, good.
Good old, the love song.
Lovin' When It's Leavin'. So tell us about this idea and the writing of that song.
Back to just being like, I don't know, independent. And for me, relationships, I don't know, especially my age right now, like you said, being an old soul and meeting people my age, it doesn't last long.
No, okay.
So it's like we just aren't on the same level, and there just isn't. And being a musician, I mean, you know, if you meet someone here, they're most likely also a musician. So it's like competitive, and I've realized I'm better on my own than dealing with something like that. I'd rather just wait for something good, like really good, to come along, you know? So I guess that was the inspiration for this.
Great.
I'm better at loving myself and loving those things when they're already gone. So loving when it's leaving.
Here we go. Taylor Borton on the Songwriter Connection. Can I tell you, I think I've got a new favorite.
Voice
Taylor.
crack and all.
Yeah, no.
I know, it got me.
No, it was great. It was just it was the emotion of the song. I think I've got a new favorite Taylor Borton song.
Thanks. Someone else told me that too. They're like, I love them all, but that one was my favorite. And I just like to hear what people pick out of them, you know?
I'm better at loving when it's leaving. That's just a great concept. Very cool,
Thanks.
man. Very good song.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Let's manifest the dream 5 years, man. What's it look like? Are you on the Opry stage? What are you doing? Let's manifest.
Well, my first biggest step is to quit my day job.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say, like, I've been focusing on writing a lot and getting into pitching just to see what it's like and see what I want to do. I mean, my main goal is to tour and do that. But I would say I want to either have, like, a pub deal or just at least have label options that might be interested, or people like that, just who I know, just higher up on the scale, I guess you would say.
There you go.
I just want to have my foot in a lot of doors, I guess, at that point, and then just from there choose what suits me best.
There you go.
And go from there.
Keep dreaming big.
Yeah.
Big.
Big.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you for taking the time and to come this way and to be on the show.
Thanks so much.
And we hope it benefits you very well. All the best with this new Lyrics in My Head CD, and they're out there streaming. We played it from Spotify a little earlier today, so you'll find it out there, and find you also on YouTube. See some of your videos, including Club Box Lighter.
My sexy song.
Your
You'll
sexy
watch the
song.
video.
It's out there streaming. And you have your own website?
Yes, I do.
Which is?
TaylorBortonMusic.com.
Please check it out.
Yeah.
And we'll join you next week on this Songwriter Connection.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Lanahan's Nashville Connections radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.